I hope Karla wasn't saying she was looking for that, because now I'm turning into Karla, because she's going to wear it for someone else.
Hey, I was looking for that.
Are you napping too? I should have turned my air colder. I was like, I'm burning up. I would be okay if I just would have used maybe one sheet with my feet hanging out. There's something going on at the blind center. Your little kids outside. Sometimes it gets annoying because even though kids are playing, like a little toddler always ends up crying. And of course, my hands are freaking, especially right here, puffy and swollen and numb. I really should go walk around. I was trying to read if I had gout. If you could have gout in your hands, but it's like, it's more likely overuse and compression from sleeping position. She just gave me a thumbs up. She didn't even fucking reply to me. Alright, let's see what she was crying about.
You're trying so desperately to be right that you don't listen to what I'm telling you.
So desperately. She's literally, that's what she's doing.
You know, it's funny how you feel like you pouring your love to me over the year and then abandon me on a date that's really important.
Huh?
Like that's okay, a plan to have. So I approach you directly to just kind of get ideas about what your plans are, you know, and just tell you.
Yeah, she's narcissistic still. She can't even admit her own fault. Like, if this was anyone else, I would literally immediately say, offer to go to couples therapy, or like we would have to, even a therapist would literally say, like, you need to end this relationship because she cannot take accountability. She's saying that I abandoned her 2 Christmases ago. She literally kicked me off her property and said, we don't need you. And she's acting like that shouldn't even have affected me.
You to like, don't leave me high and dry and like have me be your last minute backup plan. I don't like that.
What?
I said, please, let me know what your plans are. And you get offended because I speak my mind. You get offended.
I get offended because she's not my last minute plans. I think she wants me to choose her over my family, or she wants me to make set plans. Like, okay, just Christmas, are you going to be with your family? Or are you going to be here? I need you to have set plans made, Brock. That's okay. But, like, she can't. I have the right. Dude, I'm literally injured all over my body. How am I going to plan to see my family if I don't even know if I'm going to be alive tomorrow? I'm literally. It's like I'm losing my limbs. And if I'm delayed on healing, I might see my family for Christmas.
That's not my intention to hurt you. But if you're going to victimize yourself anytime I have a doubt to myself, or you're going to threaten me with therapy every time that I express my emotions, I'm not safe in this relationship.
From therapy and working on herself. Threaten her. Who threatens people with therapy? I was suggesting therapy so she could realize, like, that she's doing something very negative. She literally said, after everything I've done for her this year, pouring my life into her, buying her so many dinners and lunches and gifts for her and her family, driving her family when I literally know I'm not feeling well, doing it out of the love and kindness. She turned around and said, oh, you might leave me for someone else on Christmas, or you might want to spend it with your poker buddies. That was such a backhanded, unnecessary compliment that was literally asking to start a fight potentially if I wanted to defend myself. And on top of that, she said, you might make plans to go see your family and leave me in the dark, like not tell her about it. I am so undeserving of those comments by her, and she still to this day hasn't apologized. And then she's being narcissist and saying, "Oh, you're making yourself such the victim." Like, hello, you literally did very negative things. I'm allowed to. That's like a wife that gets beat in the face by her husband, and then the wife, goes public about it, and then the husband is like psycho. Oh, you're just making yourself such the victim, aren't you? Like, you deserved it. Like, what?
I'm not safe. I'm sorry that you're feeling sick and you're not feeling well. There's nothing that I can do about it.
I get it. If she's totally overworked and she has her kids to take care of and she's going through stuff herself and she literally can't be here for me, I totally understand that. But like, if we were married and she wanted to be there for me, she could help me put my clothes on, my shoes on. She could open the door for me. She could do all these things. Like, I'm an idiot and I'm sitting here holding my phone in my hand. She could help me in so many ways, and she just flat out gives up and says, "There's nothing I can do to help you."
So I'll just give you your space and you figure out what you gotta do in your life.
See, she completely turns to being negative and giving up and saying, I can't help you with with your swollen hands." And wow, like, dude, if she had my physical problems I'm dealing with, and I was physically mostly normal, if she wanted me to open bottle caps in the door and put her shoes on, and I was able to be there for her, I absolutely would. Like, wow.
I just know that I can't be in a relationship where I have to be quiet about my feelings or my thoughts.
Her thoughts were literally exactly what I just said. I can't be in a relationship where someone says you might go be with another woman or someone else on Christmas instead of me. I've literally been with waiting. I'm literally here waiting for her in bed again on another Friday night to see her. Why wouldn't I be waiting to see her on Christmas? She can't comprehend that in her mind. And how accusing me, or even speaking of the possibility, how does she not know that that's toxic?
Or be with a man that has a mentality that I should be put in a psych ward like they used to do to women in the day where they weren't agreeable with men. I'm not going to feel safe.
I don't feel that way at all. I'm just, my feelings are hurt by how she treated me. Yeah. She's literally like making herself a victim when she is the one that said that to me. And to be 100% fair, I fucked up. I reacted harshly. I woke up, not that it excuses anything, I woke up with severe swelling in my hands and arms and fucking ankles and knees and everything. Like, I'm falling apart. Um, I should literally have her or a home health aide, someone to literally do everything that I'm doing to like open bottle caps and put my clothes on. Every time I do this, I'm re-injuring my hands.
With a man like that. And I hate to be vulnerable on camera because I feel like you're gonna post it all over Facebook and use it against me.
If she wasn't guilty of anything, and obviously I have no plans of doing that, I might send this to my mom. How could it be used against her if she wasn't guilty? Because if I ever did go to that length or made a YouTube about dating a narcissist, I would literally show proof of every single thing that she does to me. That's why I feel like I have to record her in case I ever lose my mind and go that route and just can't take it anymore. Might as well get rich off of it, or at least teach others how to handle or what it's like, I guess. Because sadly, the answer to how to deal with a narcissist is to literally block them and get a restraining order. And set them up to go to fucking prison because they're gonna literally try and fucking murder you.
But maybe we need to come to terms that we can't give each other what we need anymore.
Dude, she's like... she can't even... She would rather say that than admit that what she said was wrong.
No pressure. It's not anybody's fault. That happens. I'm okay with that, but I'd rather have it be known now than have it to be known in the middle of fucking Christmas again. And I know that your tournaments are important to you, so it's not something we have to figure out now.
Oh, well, thanks for being nice enough to care about the tournaments, which I didn't even fucking make it halfway through day one. I needed to make it to like 6 p.m. or something like that to make it halfway through. They were gonna make us play like crazy hours today, every day actually.
But I'm not gonna wait too long. And you have to figure out your games first. I get that. That's more important to you.
It's not actually, but to be fair, this time around, I knew that she was gonna say these psychotic statements that I knew not to watch these videos before my tournament today. It was gonna stress me out so much if I would have listened to this. But I'm in a hopefully peaceful state where I've heard her be like this for years now. It's just who Karla is. I don't know if therapy... I mean, it would take a lot of therapy to help her. It just kills me that, like, I would take her to therapy for a positive reason. To realize that when someone courts you and is a Casanova to you all year, they're literally showing you that they want to be there for you on Christmas if they're not going to see their parents and sisters in Ohio. So literally by default, it should be unquestionable that is literally true love. Unquestionable that if I was sitting here alone with nothing to do and it was Christmas and Karla asked if I would like to come to her Christmas party, unquestionable that I would want to go and be there with her. It's like breathing. You don't even have to think about it. Yet, she is so fucking traumatized by her divorce, other men in her life, whether she wants to admit it or not. 2 years ago, when she kicked me off of her property the day before her Christmas party and said, "We don't need you," that destroyed me. I was so devastated. And then she wants to play the victim and say, "Oh, you abandoned us." She kicked me off and said, "We don't need you," and then said, "Oh, I abandoned them." Like, that's literally classic narcissism. And she's saying, oh, well, we should have talked and made up. Well, now that I'm the one that responded to her comments a little harshly and said, and all I said, instead of saying kindly, does that hurt my feelings and like this and that, I was a little harsh about it with my voice through video here on Marco. I don't even know what I'm trying to say other than, yeah, now her feelings are hurt. And I get it, we're both, but like, I've apologized like 6 times now for responding that way. She has once yet to apologize, I think. I can rewatch all the videos. Maybe at the beginning of this, she might have actually half apologized.
Understand. Best of luck to you in this tournament season. I hope everything goes well.
Yet she'll wish me well in a tournament, but she won't work on bettering herself or bettering the relationship.
Yeah, I heard you could win lots of money tomorrow. Good luck. I hope it all.
You can't win money on day one. It's like a 6-day tournament. Maybe like 3 or 4 days in is when you're in the money.
Works out.
Have a good day, Karla Bear. If you would like to cuddle and hold each other and kiss and connect,
I think I told her again in my car.
And again, I'm sorry for reacting, saying the things I did out of frustration. I still need to work on my communication skills and couples therapy skills. And
this was like the 6th time I've apologized. I don't think she's once apologized. She didn't say, maybe, and a therapist would totally work with her for this. They would say, he would just say, he would literally right there on the spot just kindly say, what are some things Brock has done this year to show you that he loves you and cares about you and wants to be with you. And then she would start to name those things, and then he would be like, okay, after Brock has done all of these things, do you think that he would actually, and if you guys are having no relationship problems and you guys have seen each other every Friday and Saturday night for almost the entire year, do you think Brock would just magically not want to be with you? Like he saw you on like a random like Friday, October 14th or whatever. That was important to him. Don't you think that Christmas would probably be important to spend with you as well? And if Karla wants to answer, well, I think all men are cheaters, or that he missed a Christmas with us in the past, of course I would immediately step in and be like, Karla, you literally kicked me off your property in front of your kids and said, we don't need you. I have video proof of that from my dash cam, from the cell phone recording. And that's why I record it, in case something like that happened. And so, you can't kick someone out and then blame them for not being there. At least take half the responsibility. I get it. I could have we both were half equal in trying to make things right before the Christmas party, and we both failed big time. To be fair, Karla sent me a whopping 1 text message and 2 Marco messages, but she never picked up the phone. She never tried to find out where I was. I was literally dying, laying in my car at the Bellagio rooftop parking garage. And then when I wasn't doing that, I was playing in the poker room. I was literally peeing in piss bottles. And she would rather say stuff, even still to this day, oh, I think you were with someone else. Who the fuck was I with? I was fucking devastated. The love of my life fucking did that to me. I can't just magically, and I don't have people on speed dial to fucking, hey, you want to hang out this Christmas?
Yeah, I understand that it hurts that I said you might want to spend Christmas elsewhere, but I'm basing it off fact of things that happened. I'm not basing it on my idea.
And you'll see later that she'll say, oh, I never brought up the past. And again, she's still to this day taking zero accountability from 2 years ago when she said, I don't need you. And saying I'm basing it off the past when it was literally mostly her. She literally threw the bomb that exploded my heart and said, we don't need you, and kicked me off of the property in front of her kids. Oh, but I'm basing it off of the past. Yeah, so what? Just in case you do that to me again? You're saying that's a possibility?
It's really disappointing. I thought we were somewhere else beyond this.
Yeah, we were literally having amazing weekend nights together. And I dropped thousands of dollars on her, pouring my love into her. It's not just about the money, it's about the love behind it, the effort. Knowing, and it's okay to bring up money because this is literally tens of thousands of dollars that could have went towards building a future with someone else that actually isn't going to abandon me at a moment's notice or accuse me and saying, oh, well, you might want to spend Christmas with another woman or someone else or your poker buddies. I don't want a fucking partner to talk to me like that or to accuse me and say, well, you might go off with your family and then not even tell me about it. That isn't even who I am. So I don't deserve to be talked to like that. I deserve to be loved and respected. And I wouldn't say those things to her. Maybe I would say them back in resentment. I actually did say a couple things in resentment. Oh, I said, well, I guess if we're going to base stuff off of the past or even the present, you literally have guys on Kick sending you dick pics and you're literally telling them nice cock, or at least in the past, because I was nice enough to not do the whole let's trade phones and read each other's messages things because sadly she kind of warned me that what I might find. She said she still has guys sending her dick pics on Kick, and if she doesn't have them deleted, she probably does by now because I mentioned the possibility of going through each other's phones, that that means she's knowingly keeping dick pics from guys that were sent to her. That's not normal in a committed relationship. I'm not even talking to another woman, especially sexually. The funny thing is one of my ex-girlfriend's mothers is telling me how she has liver cirrhosis or whatever. That might be the closest any female talking to me, and she's like a senior citizen.
But forget I said anything.
She'd rather say forget I said anything than take accountability and apologize for what she said.
I'm indifferent to it now. But one thing you can do is stop trying to get me to go to therapy when all I do is express myself or tell you.
Express herself by saying you might want to spend Christmas with another woman or someone else or your poker buddies, or go see your family without telling me about it and leaving me in the dark. What a way to express yourself, Karla. And I get it. Couples therapy is about acknowledging her feelings. So I'll acknowledge her feelings again right here. She has an ex-husband who literally was overseas, supposedly cheating on her. she was supposedly raped by her father. She was supposedly taken hostage with her mom when they were trying to leave El Salvador, and raped. That's why she's afraid to like go down on anyone, because it reminds her of her trauma being forced to do that as a kid. She dated a DJ, she dated a hitman, a limousine company owner, like all kinds of people that were fully capable of cheating on her, had all kinds of money and whatnot. And then again, she kicked me off her property in front of her kids, and then of course naturally the next day or two I was not there for the Christmas party because I was so fucking hurt by her doing that.
A difference of opinion for myself from what you want.
Great opinion. Let me start treating her like she treats me. Let me start, every time we talk, let me start making comments. You know, I was going to invite you to the movie, but you might want to see a movie with someone else, so I wasn't sure. Or I was going to invite you to dinner, but you might want to have dinner with another guy, or like your girlfriends. Or yeah, I totally wanted to spend Christmas with you, but you might want to spend it with someone else or your girlfriends. Or you might want to have your family party without inviting me. I could literally say the same thing to her, and then she's acting like that's completely normal. Like, those are all unhealthy things. Why would I even speak of such unhealthy things?
For you, or what you want me to do in your life. That's stupid and unnecessary and insulting, frankly. It's really disappointing. I thought we were somewhere you want for you, or what you want me to do. One thing you can do is stop trying to get me to go to therapy when all I do is express myself or tell you a difference of opinion for myself from what you want for you, or what you want me to do in your life. That's...
She's literally saying, like, I want to keep accusing you and making these toxic comments instead of going to therapy to get help. And she's acting like going to therapy is a negative thing. Like I'm trying to force her to be a certain way. Dude, I'm trying to help her to be better herself. Therapy is about sitting down and having empathy and acknowledging each other's feelings and active listening. And a therapist literally is there as a guide and a relationship expert that helps you hear each other out and see each other's side and talk about it. And then, just like I said earlier, he would ask her, you know, do you think Brock is worthy of being loved and respected to the point where, you know, he shouldn't have his partner making comments saying he might go be with another woman on Christmas, or poker buddies, or visit his family without telling you? Do you think that's okay to say that to him? And I 100%, there's a strong chance, okay, maybe not 100% because obviously she's proving it now, but Karla isn't dumb. She has a brain. She knows if a couples therapist is literally asking her that question, she knows that the right answer would be he should be loved and respected. He's obviously cares about me. That was wrong of me to say those things. I'm almost willing to bet a lot of what I have to, because I really have hope that Karla would come to that realization, because we went to therapy before face to face with this guy, Truss, and he flat out asked her, do you think it's fair to him to keep bringing up the past and reminding him of his past mistakes? Or do you think that he's trying in the present to be a good partner for you, and she finally fessed up and said, yes, I see that he's trying to do that, and I can understand how that could, you know, is unfair to him to keep trying to remind him of the past when he's trying to do great in the present and going into the future.
Stupid and unnecessary and insulting, frankly.
Maybe I just suck at communicating. I'm just kindly talking to her about going to therapy, about bettering our relationship, building together. Did I already watch these? No. Or did I? No, I didn't.
Well, I wasn't discussing the past. I was discussing the future.
She literally brought up the past. Well, I would have to go back to her past messages to prove that she did, but I promise you, I wouldn't just make that up. She literally said, because you've done it in the past.
You brought up the past. I didn't bring it up.
That's literally narcissistic gaslighting. Now, is it possible that she forgot she did that? Yes, but that's why I record our conversations, in case she ever claims she never said something. Here, I guess I could play these. I can just start from where she said what she, yeah, it's right before. Yeah, it's pretty much right here. Is when she says, this is, and you got to remember, this is like the fifth or sixth time that she said this. And it might not even sound that bad in the message, but it's the fact that she's saying it. It's these backhanded comments.
I understand that maybe you don't want to make plans for the holidays. And I know that you haven't been feeling well, but I just don't want to be left in the dark. And to go to see your family for Christmas or do Thanksgiving for...
Why would I ever leave her in the dark and not tell her? Like, again, I don't deserve for her to say that to me. That is so toxic and unhealthy. Why would I do that?
Christmas. I don't have a problem with it. I just want to know if you're going to be there or not. And look, I know a lot has transpired between us since we got back together, and maybe you don't want to face up to my family anymore, or you don't want to see them.
I've literally been waiting for the day to be welcomed back in her house without being snuck in behind her mom's back. And she, like, the fact that this isn't even embedded in her DNA kills me. It's like she doesn't even know me.
For the holidays, you'd rather just do it in private with me. That's fine. I just feel like I have the right to know.
I've been telling her for months, like, wow.
I'm glad that you're getting your answers. I want that for you. I want you to feel healthy again and whole, but I shouldn't be left in the dark about these plans for you.
She just keeps repeating this over and over again. When in the world am I leaving her in the dark of any possible plans to travel to see my family? Like, she's making a big deal out of, and I get it, in therapy, I have to acknowledge her feelings. She has this fear, for some reason, of being left in the dark. So, but like, she's got to meet me in the middle. She just can't keep talking to me like this. Like, I've taken her out to dinner a gazillion times, made love to her, gotten her flowers. I'm doing everything a fucking partner should do for the most part. And she thinks I would leave her in the dark.
Are you going to spend them here with somebody else, or on your own, or with your poker buddies?
There you go. Let's make sure if I send this to my mom or whoever, she totally said that.
Be left in the dark about these plans for you, whether you're going to spend them here with somebody else, or on your own, or with your poker buddies.
So there we go. This is the big question. Why would I spend Christmas with somebody else, or on my own, or with poker buddies? Why would I not be invited to Karla's house? And she's been talking about finally welcome me there while her mom is there and her brother and Heather. So she's the one herself that said, she's lately been telling me to stop trying to speak bad things into the universe. She's literally doing that in this moment. She doesn't realize by treating me like this, it might push me away, and I might do exactly what she's accusing me of. She's literally setting the situation on fire. But I've dealt with her for years. I don't want, if I'm here in Vegas, I don't want to spend Christmas with anyone else. I want to spend Christmas with the love of my life, who happens to be a narcissist.
Or you spend it with your family. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not going to get in your way. But I do have a right to know so I can make my plans too.
Like, I seriously, when she sent this to me, I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? Like, in what universe would I do that? So I told her that really, that really hurt my feelings that you're saying all this. And she made me she was mocking me, saying, oh, you're such the victim. And I could always replay how I reacted, but to see how harsh I sounded.
Anyways, that's all that I wanted to talk to you about earlier today. I understand that you might have a defeatist attitude at times.
Yeah, no kidding when you say these things. And one thing that I could have done is just a simple reassurance. It would have resulted in me being a carpet and allowing her to verbally walk all over me like this. But I could have just simply said, well, you want to know why I don't want to spend Christmas with anyone else or poker buddies? It's because I want to spend it with you, and I love you, and I can't stop wanting to cuddle you and make love to you. And I would love to see how happy the boys are opening their gifts and to make peace with Julia again and your brother. That's all I simply had to say, but like, it would be bearing the fact that she said all these things to me. I could have done both. I could have started with that, and then I could have said, it really hurt my feelings that you think I would want to spend Christmas with someone else or poker buddies. If I'm literally sitting here alone in my apartment and it's Christmas Eve, like, after everything I've poured my love into you this year, I hope that would be embedded into you. And I hope that you would see my effort and see that all my effort was pointing towards spending Christmas with you if I wasn't spending it with my family in Ohio. I could have simply worded it like that, but we'll see how I ended up wording it.
With everything your body's feeling, so I don't want any last minute situations. I want to know what to expect. That's all.
What last minute situation? And she can't respect me enough to know that I've gave her plenty of heads up. November and December is very big poker moments here in Vegas. North American Poker Tour and the World Poker Tour is like the second World Series of Poker, essentially. The one event I would like to play, $1,100. The final day, if by some miracle I made the final table, is December 12th. My family's Christmas party in Ohio is December 13th. So I told her I don't even know if I'm going to make my family's Christmas party. So there's a chance I might go later. And she should understand that I have not been welcome in her household while her mom is there, essentially, for the entire year. So she can't be offended if I choose to go see the people that actually 100% care about me over, Like, of course, why wouldn't I choose my mother, my sisters, my nieces and nephews, my stepdad, um, everyone else over being at Christmas with her and her mother, who has completely outcasted me the entire year. I've tried to say hello to her mom when I pick or drop Karla off at the door, and her mom literally shuts the door in my face. She can't judge me too harshly if I were to choose to do my own family over her family, who now at the end of the year all of a sudden would invite me over. It's okay to put my own family first. Carl and I have spent every Friday and Saturday night together since the beginning of the year, earlier in the year. I gotta hurry up and play this because I gotta use the restroom.
I don't want a repeat of the other year.
And saying this, she doesn't realize that the repeat would be her saying we don't need you and kicking me off of her property in front of her kids. She can't even say that.
All right, well, I'm going to finish up work and then go to bed. Love you. Good night.
At least she said love you. Which the very next 2 to 3 nights she did not say yeah. Because I just replayed all the videos. Or a lot of them, I guess.
I don't know why you have this fixation. Fucking older Phil. Why you're so obsessed with thinking that I don't, like, even mentioning the possibility of me not wanting to see your family. Like, you're the one that hasn't even invited me over. Step foot into your house, other than maybe one time you said I could have, like, ran into the bathroom while your mom was there. Like, are you just ignoring, like, every single thing that's, like, happening between us? Or, like, the gazillion boo-boo and doo-doo messages I send you? Literally, one of the last ones I sent says you're the favorite part. My favorite part of every day. And now you, like, have this insecurity. You keep bringing this up. Like, what are you talking about? Of course I want to see you. Of course I've literally been waiting a gazillion years or a year and a half to step foot in your household. While your mother is there, and not feel like an outcast or a monster, you know, like taking you and the kids out, and then, like, I'm not even allowed to step foot in your front door. Like, obviously that is a big deal to me, Karla. So I wish you would stop saying things like being left in the dark. Like, I'm like, like, what the fuck is she talking about? But I understand your concerns. That's your feelings, but, you know, when you say those things to me, it makes me feel like you're just, like, all my effort, I poured my life into you again, like, isn't good enough, like, and then I'm, fucking waking up, so dehydrated and, trying to lay back down, and then, of course, my hands are numb again, and then my fucking hips, for some reason, are killing me, just even laying on my back. Anyways, here, I need to turn this up. I'm supposed to be working on going back to sleep, not looking at my phone, but that's my problem. One of my problems is I look at my phone and then my brain is wired again. I need some more water, though. I don't know, I don't understand where your thoughts are coming from. I'm sorry. But I understand your concerns and your fears. It's just frustrating when, like, to me, they're, like, non-existent.
Alright, that was not the greatest thing to say therapy-wise. I didn't listen to, or I couldn't hear the last couple of minutes because I was in the restroom, but so I can replay them back. Yeah, that's not doing a great job of acknowledging someone's, like, I acknowledge them, but then I immediately said they're non-existent. So when I should have said acknowledge that she has a fear of these things. But on one hand, they should be non-existent because we're supposed to be having a happy, healthy relationship. The last thing that should be happening is someone leaving to be with someone else of the opposite sex or poker buddies. Like, in what universe would I ditch her for poker buddies? Like, the only universe is if she went crazy and pushed me away. But, like, we were not even remotely on that path. We just had so many amazing days together. Made so much amazing love to her. I even kept re-injuring my hands making love to her. Because I care about her that much, I was willing to risk my own body to satisfy her. Or each other, I guess.
Makes me feel like you're just like all my effort I poured my life into you again, like, isn't good enough, like, and then I'm fucking waking up so dehydrated and trying to lay back down, and then of course my hands are numb again, and then my fucking hips for some reason are killing me just even laying on my back. Anyways, I gotta turn this up. I'm supposed to be working on going back to sleep, not looking at my phone, but that's my problem. One of my problems is I look at my phone and then my brain is wired again. I need some more water though.
And that ended up being a mistake looking at my phone because I was hurting, dehydrated. I could have been in a better mindset to respond to her backhanded comments.
I don't know. I don't understand.
And I get really bad. I start saying so many things out of frustration and like throwing the fire back at her. Look how many future videos I have. Most of this is literally me giving examples of how much I love her. I'm like, I got you the knee pillow. That was like $40, $50. Your $200 plus TV, and then the $100 plexiglass cover, so hopefully Jazeel doesn't break it. I had offered to get it mounted on the wall. She ended up doing that. I got her a dual range shower head and installed it myself. Just countless examples of where I bought dinner and like put in all this effort, and then she makes a comment saying, "Oh, you might go be with someone else," and ditch me on Christmas. Like, I didn't deserve that. And a therapist would 1,000% agree that at minimum that was an unhealthy thing for her to say. Like, she has the right to speak her feelings, but good luck having a relationship last very long if you're communicating like that. And obviously, I knew that I need to work on my communication and responding to negativity like that. Because at the end of the day, we all should be striving to be the better person. Just because someone else is negative doesn't mean that we have to be negative. That is a universal truth. A very positive, powerful thing. But I've said that so many times this past week. Karla has not once said it. She said the complete opposite. "Oh, you're just trying to force me to go to therapy." Like, wow. Not a single apology for the most part. I think I still have more messages to listen to hers.
Understand where your thoughts are coming from. I'm sorry. But I understand your concerns and your fears. It's just frustrating when, like, to me, they're like non-existent.
And one thing about all this is just the simple phrase, actions speak louder than words. You know, I could have just simply tried to steer her towards going back on amazing dates, making love to each other, having her over here privately at my place, and just continuing on the path that we were on, and let the actions speak. Because by verbally, anytime I try to talk logically to her, and I've been taught this, and even in relationship videos, countless times over, even women therapists say women work off of emotion, not logic. So whenever you try and talk logically to them, which is sad because I feel like I see strong, independent women on TV, like Kamala Harris, who you should probably be able to talk logically to, educated people. But for some reason, Karla seems to fit into the emotional portion. But again, it involves being her carpet and allowing her to talk that way to you without standing up for yourself. We should have been in therapy regular. Like I'm trying to go out to all these doctors to better myself. I'm even doing a lot on my own without just talking to AI, cutting down on sugar, saturated fat, cholesterol. Karla doesn't seem to want to work on herself. She doesn't even want to cut back on alcohol, let alone her backhanded comments.
I don't know, just already suffering through what I'm suffering, and then I'm waking up to you saying, well, maybe you don't want to, be around my family. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
Obviously, that's harsh, not right of me to start cursing like that and putting her down. It's not great active listening or empathy. But if I did anything to piss Karla off, she would have no problem cursing me out, especially her mother. So this is how I felt in the moment. I'm like, well, her and her mom don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
But I love you regardless.
But I immediately come back with trying to steer it back towards love.
I know therapy is supposed to, in relationships, they're supposed to be about acknowledging the other person's feelings. I just wish you would acknowledge.
And yeah, I realize I might not be doing the best job of that, and I'm just saying I wish she would do that with me. I'm just a simple ask.
Acknowledge mine. And I just feel like I don't exist in that regards.
And all she responded was, "Oh, you're such the victim, aren't you?" Like, she couldn't even... Man.
And hello, if I was flying to see my family for Thanksgiving or Christmas, I would instantly share that information with you. You're the most important person in my life.
That right there should be enough. You're the most important person in my life, and she refuses to believe that. She's just too traumatized from the past. And I get punished for it.
But I fell asleep to the news again tonight, and it's all about
I go on talking about the planes, and then this is just literally an hour's worth of me talking. I still need to listen to everything she said. I listened to some of these. Yeah, the first one's like, "Oh, you're such the victim, aren't you?"
There you go again. Acting like I'm insecure for asking you about your...
Okay, no, the first one's about, her saying she's insecure. Well, yes, a therapist would even say it to her face.
Christmas plans. I don't know what you're singing at me when all you did was...
Oh, and I was trying to be positive and sing to her.
that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay, need you to stay. When we're away, don't we miss our touch? We're the reason we believe in love. It's been difficult for us to trust, and we're afraid that we will fuck it up. Ain't no way we can leave us stranded, even if the past left us empty-handed. And you know that I can't live without you. So baby, stay. Oh, 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 oh. I'll be fucked up if you can't be right here.
Yeah, I was trying to do something loving. I suck at singing and performing, but I at least put myself out there. I look pretty funny because I had to read the lyrics, and it just makes me look weird. But
I don't know what you're singing at me when all you did was complain about the things that you did for me or take me out on dates.
And again, narcissist. I was not complaining about the things that I did for her or taking her out on dates. I was complaining that it felt like she wasn't recognizing those things that she did. I love the fact that I did those things for her. Even though I know that like the situation was looming potentially one day, that she's gonna say these things to me, and then I'm gonna stand up for myself, and then she's gonna say, "Oh, you're such the victim," and never apologize for. So yeah, and she's done this in the past, because I've said the same things. You know, we've dated for most of the last 6-7 years. I'm like, you know, I literally like poured my life into you guys, you and your family, so many gifts and so many dinners, so many flowers, so many video chats, good night, I love you, and sharing you how my day is going, and then like you act like you weren't the love of my life, and then you did something super negative, or you accused me of something. Like, she used to constantly accuse me of either cheating or potentially cheating, and it was so toxic listening to that. Like, the more I poured my life into her, the more she kept accusing me. Like, oh, I think she would literally say, "Why don't you just come clean and tell me who else you're dating?" Like, extremely toxic comments. Every therapist I talked to said, yeah, she is insanely, very insecure. And I have most of my therapy sessions recorded. I can literally prove what experts in relationships were saying about her.
Or what you gave to my kids, or stuff like that, and then how resentful you are toward my family. If you're so fucked up about it, why are you singing to me? You act like you're always the victim in this relationship. I don't know why you're so adamant about being in it if you're such...
Does this sound like someone, and for some reason she hearted the next comment, but she's literally a narcissist. Oh, you're acting like such the victim. Instead of acknowledging what she did wrong and apologizing and having empathy and seeing my side and why I said my feelings were hurt. She is completely incapable of that. I would love to sit down with Trust, our last therapist, as big burly black guy, and for her to say that in front of his face and see what an expert like him would respond. He would totally, even if he tried to do it calmly, he would let her know that that is a very unhealthy thing to say, what she just said.
The fucking victim.
Well, I know it wasn't the greatest way, but I was waking up. Not that it excuses anything, but waking up.
And then I go on to apologize and say, and I talk about how I could have said things better, and try and just calmly talk about why my feelings were hurt. It takes 15-16 minutes. But this is the part, I don't think I've heard these messages from her. We'll see though.
Look, I know you're going through things, and that's why I came to you first and tried to see what your plans were without being high pressure or anything. I understand that you might not feel like being around us, especially when...
Okay, maybe I did hear these ones.
You're feeling vulnerable or not strong. I understand that, but it just seems like everything that in a relationship now bothers you. And
obviously not true. We were going on amazing dates, making amazing love to each other. She's even helping me put my shoes on briefly. And I never said everything was bothering me. The only thing that bothered me was her saying, you might abandon me to go spend Christmas with someone else or poker buddies or go see your family without telling me. That hurt my feelings. That's all I'm trying to simply say.
I don't understand why, because I'm not the one that's hurting you.
Narcissist as fuck. I'm not the one. I don't understand. I'm not the one that's hurting you. Zero acknowledgement. Wow. Like, just wow.
You're going to say that you're going to come over and not be nice? Nobody's telling you.
To be fair, I did say, I said, well, since your mom treated me this way the entire year and literally turned her back on me, she couldn't even say hi and then shut the door in my face. I have no problem at this point with everything I'm going through with my numb hands, my swollen knees, ankles, everything. I'm injured everywhere. I would have no problem telling your mom exactly how I felt for her doing this to me the entire year and what she did to me a year and a half ago, stopping me from being there with my own fiance. That literally happened, and that caused yet another long-ass breakup for how I responded to her. Because I said, well, why should we invite you to our wedding? Why should I go to your funeral? And then naturally that caused us to break up because I said that to her own mother.
To be any specific way, but why would you come over with the plan of being evil to people in my house?
But it's okay for her mom to slam the door or shut the door in my face. She doesn't even hear herself.
That makes no sense.
Exactly, it makes zero sense.
You said things that pissed people off. You said things that made my children vulnerable.
The things that I said about her children was, I love them. I love Jazeel, even though he's autistic. I love Sebastian, even though he's bisexual. And I get it. So people don't want private things like that said in a Facebook story that I have like 7 audience members. Regardless, they don't want to take any risk with strangers hearing these things. Karla has an over fear of someone kidnapping her autistic child or murdering or hate criming her bisexual son. Understandable, but she takes it pretty far. Like, I can't even talk on my Facebook story about my life.
In public, when I've told you not to do that to me or anybody else.
And what if I told her for 6-7 years now not to do? Please stop accusing me of wanting to be with other people instead of her. Or at least listening to me when I say my feelings are hurt after she says it. At least apologizing. Or at least understanding my side.
And you want to waltz into my life like nothing happened. But then...
And she can't take any acknowledgement. In all these messages, she takes zero acknowledgement of what her mom did to us. Her mom, I was supposed to come over. I had just had COVID for a week. I was supposed to finally come over and be with Karla, the only person I wanted to be with in my lover's arms. And her mom said, oh, I don't like you. You're not welcome here. After almost dying or feeling like I was going to die of COVID, that's what her mom literally did to me. I still wasn't even physically recovered from the effects. Starving, dehydrated, whatnot. Just fucking worn out. And I slept in my car the last 2 nights of it. And yeah, I was pretty fucking groggy. I wasn't the best person to do that to. So I told her mom exactly how I felt. But she doesn't want to bring up what her mom did to me. And how now her mom just wants to let me waltz back into their lives. I don't know. It goes both ways.
You want to, like, if I talk about getting together with my family, you don't know how to feel about it. You feel resentful. This is exactly why you haven't been invited into my home. Because
somewhat fair. I'm a male. I'm 6'8". I have normal testosterone levels. If I have resentment, any human is capable of losing their shit at any moment. So fair enough. I'm not going to act like I'm perfect or there's people, it happens on the news all the time. People, completely normal people, someone at like McDonald's does something to piss them off, and the next thing you know, someone's shooting the other person, and someone's life is over. It happens that fast.
I didn't know how you felt about it. I didn't know how others felt about you. Obviously, I'm not going to orchestrate a disaster.
It's probably what her mom has been afraid of this entire time. Because her mom knows she was totally in the wrong.
I don't make you out to be anybody else. I don't make you feel unworthy. I make you out to be who you were when you were sending me that message.
Narcissist, no acknowledgement of my feelings. I'm not making you out to be anything. I simply said, you're making me out to be someone that would cheat on you or leave you to go be with another person or woman, whatever you meant by that. Or leave you to go be with poker buddies. We spent every fucking weekend night together since we got back together earlier this year, and you think I would magically just jump up and find some poker buddies to spend Christmas with? And why wouldn't these guys be spending Christmas with their families, is my question. Maybe they're lone wolves out here in Vegas, I don't know. Yeah, I guess Rick does have his son out here in Vegas now, one of his sons. So John, and then Jimmy has his roommate and might travel to go to family out of state. He literally has a wife in Texas. He's not even a poker player anymore anyways. Yeah, I just see so much narcissism. It's sad. And this is the love of my life. She said she was doing it based off of what I said. The only thing I can think of that I said was, because of these poker events in town, it's cutting it really close around, obviously it stops for before Thanksgiving and Christmas. It gives people time to like travel back to different states, but I was really looking forward to actually making some good money from these events, and I can visit my family at any time, so I don't necessarily need to do it during Christmas. Maybe she's taking that some way and saying, oh, well, maybe he won't want to spend it with me, but if I'm literally here in Las Vegas and I'm not going to leave, there's no way I would. If things were going great between us, there's no way I would just magically leave. What else would I do anyways? There's not going to be I doubt there's going to be a poker tournament, a huge poker tournament series elsewhere. Most people that run poker tournaments aren't that dumb. They already made that mistake July 4th for the World Series, tearing families apart.
Yeah, you say it's a no-brainer, but it was not a no-brainer when you decided to not show up.
Again, she's referring to 2 years ago when she kicked me off her property in front of her kids and said, we don't need you. And she's acting like that should have zero effect on me. Just like her comments this time should have zero effect on me. And I'm not a victim. My feelings shouldn't be hurt. She's literally failing therapy 101, couples therapy 101.
You had been previously invited or even called to see if you were still welcome.
She did not make a single phone call to me. She sent me one Marco Polo message. Obviously, I deleted Marco Polo. And then she sent me like 2 text messages, and I don't think a single one of them said, we would really like you to be here. Sorry that things blew up. I could be wrong, but I think the text messages were about how I caused a scene. Because when she said, "We don't need you," I literally screamed, "That's right, you don't need me." I literally drove all the way across town to spend the afternoon with you and the kids, and you kicking me off your property. So again, she ignored my... That's a lot of effort to drive 30 minutes across Vegas to come be with them, and then I show up and then they kick me out. Like, that was pretty negative.
So after all that pouring my life into you, you refer to it as complaining about taking you out on dates.
Yeah. And she still... Dude, the more I talk to her logically and point out how she's wrong, the more she just says wrong things. I don't even know if it's safe for her to come over. Like, this might turn into more toxic comments. I don't think I would lose. Yeah, I hope I wouldn't lose my mind, but man, she's fucking pushing the universe to the edge. And yeah, look, and also I sent her hours of messages. She sent me like a total of 10 minutes. It looks like she sent me multiple messages. These were like very short, probably 10 minutes total, and I sent her hours. Again, one-sided. I get it. She's got a job and a family. She's got to get her own rest. You clearly saw that she said you've done it in the past, and then she later says, in future messages, says, "Oh, I never brought up the past." Like, gaslighting, narcissism, or she totally forgot. So here I am, Friday night, November 7th, 2025. This is the love of my life. Yeah, one thing I could say is, I think I've already said this. Yeah, I actually have. Yeah, I said that literally in one of my messages. That's why she responded that. I very kindly said, I'm going to all these specialists and doctors, and, I got my blood work, and I'm trying to change my diet and better myself. It would make sense to start going to therapy to work on, the mental aspect and our relationship. And she took that very negatively, like, oh, you're trying to force me to be your way, to your beliefs. No, I want to go to a couples therapist and get their advice and see what they say. And does it technically affect things that I know a therapist? I literally paid to take a course called Relatio during our long breakup. And it's just all this positive advice. And I even sent her almost the entire course. She clearly didn't learn it, and I didn't do my greatest job at retaining it. But it literally centers around empathy, active listening, understanding the other person's feelings. And that's like, if you don't acknowledge their feelings, it's hard for them to acknowledge yours. And maybe I'm not doing the greatest job. But like, if I could just play all the messages I sent her, let her literally go on for hours, I'm literally acknowledging her feelings. And I'm saying all these positive, loving things. After I like let my frustrations out, or I kind of was like back and forth, I'm sure at some point. But I was giving hypothetical things. I'm like, well, I could act like your mother's acting, or I could act like you're acting. That I would give examples of how that might go about. Obviously, Karla didn't like that because they're only the ones that can do that. If I do it, it's the end of the world. Oh, we can't have that. We don't want to bring that around our household. We wouldn't want it to be equal on both sides. We don't want to treat others how we don't want to be treated like how we treat others. Nope, can't have that. Anyways, a lot of people that don't understand how our love and why I love because I'm here complaining about all these negative things. Karla overall is an amazing person. She's literally killing herself taking care of Daziel, her autistic son. She almost never gets enough sleep. Lately, I've been letting her sleep in instead of like trying to bang her, because I know like she needs it or she's gonna die early. Like literally letting her sleep in is gonna extend her lifespan and make it easier for her to get through the next week. And most of the time she's a very loving partner. Even now with like the void between her mom and I'm not even trying to have a void. I literally just want peace. I just said things out of frustration where like, well, since she's literally shut the door in my face all these times, how about I go over there and tell her exactly how I feel about that and not give a fuck, because she doesn't give a fuck about me. Despite that, I ultimately want love and peace between all of us, the whole universe. I don't want Israel and Hamas fighting each other. Nobody. Sudan, Afghanistan, ISIS. America is a fucking tyrant. Unfortunately, Donald Trump is losing his shit a long time ago. I literally just want love and peace here, just so we can prove that like there's no messaging me. He defended. Literally every pro at the table. That lady was literally defending 9-3 suited, but to be fair, I was just min raising. But so 9-7 suited, much better defend than 9-3 suited. Every pro at the table was defending suited hands, because that's what you're supposed to do for the most part. Because I didn't want her to fold. I was trying to get an extra street of value. That's why the plan was to donk lead the river. But you're right. And also I was much deeper stacked. Like we were still like 100 or 200 blinds deep at that stage of the tournament when I had 2 pair. So, but that being said, yeah, I'd rather just get it all in ahead instead of allowing myself to make mistakes. And if I'm beat with 2 pairs, so be it, right? Well, I'm glad we think alike, but if you watch like the GG Millions final table replays or even just the highlights of earlier in the tournament, you're going to make more in the long run from actually just 3-betting your hands. You don't want to just 3-bet all in every time. But I personally have gotten away with that, and I'm usually fine with my win rate, but I know that I'm destroying my win rate by playing that way. But because I have leaks post-flop, I'd rather just take advantage of people who have leaks pre-flop. Like online, you shove kings, people pay you off with ace king all day long. So I'd love to do it. Or queens or jacks or whatever. Yep. Where are these magical women? This is literally Skylar's mom, old as hell. My sister's a poker player telling me try Villarton. Totally old lady. this is actually an ex-girlfriend's mother, but she told me she has liver cirrhosis or steatohepatitis. She's gonna need a liver transplant. Yeah. And a gay friend that loves feet. Yeah, but if we look at her messages, well, she actually watched my polo recently. Like, if I send this to my mom, like, would she really watch it all? But yeah, I've made so many video diaries like this of all of our past issues. She's like 1,000% toxic and in the wrong in different situations. And then I make videos about it, and I'll talk for hours with closest friends and family about what she did to me, and, and every last person agrees like she was in the wrong. I literally said how she hurt my feelings. I know a therapist would 1,000% agree, like that was, insecure of her to say, and like not fair to me, like of all the effort I put in to be an amazing loving partner, and then, oh, but you might leave me for someone else on Christmas, or ditch me for poker buddies, or go visit your family without telling me. Those are all very negative things to tell me, and she's acting like she did nothing wrong, and that's completely healthy to do, and those are her feelings. Those are her feelings. Great. If you want to be a toxic person, great. I support you. Like, if that's how you want to live, just like someone who's a fucking chain smoker and wants to fucking give themselves lung cancer, that's your choice, but I don't have to be a part of it. And I've had so many people, including my own mother, saying like, how long are you going to put up with this? Why would literally 100 people point out that Karla is toxic? They all can't be wrong. But I put up with her because the good outweighs the bad. She's literally the most attractive person I've ever seen naked, made love to. I know that mathematically, as a poker player, the odds of me replacing the way she looks with someone else is next to impossible. And it's not just about how great she looks sexually. It's everything we've been through, all the good things together, sharing our life stories with each other, going through life stories, these times together, getting through all the hard times, and literally we reignite and come back together. Like, our love for each other is so fucking strong. When I look at her face to face, I literally see my soulmate. She is so fucking amazing. It's, even though she had 2 kids with someone else and dated other people, when I see her in person, it's like, wow, that is my partner. She is amazing. She's stubborn as hell, and I'm starting to see her mom's face and her face as she gets older, but this like pissed off person inside. But man, holding hands, watching movies together, trying to teach her how to French kiss properly, that's something she's not great at. And I'm probably not the greatest either, because I have job problems after all these years, but as amazing as the lovemaking is, it would top it off if she could be like the perfect French kisser. Like, why not strive to be better? But I still stick with her and love her for her. But if I sent her this video I just made, all she would hear was the negative, calling her narcissist and toxic. She wouldn't hear that, just something as simple as making the wrapping paper on her and her family's gifts. Like, there's just so much love I put into her family. Just picking out beautiful wrapping paper for them, and to see like this happiness on their faces, and decorating my apartment with the artwork that I have and picking out the sheets. I'm supposed to be pointing out examples of why she's so amazing. She got me a picture of us together for Valentine's Day with a nice mirror like silver picture frame. Oh, her mom's got me towels. She got me like a robe towel rack to hang over the door. She's every year a lot of times gets me like shaving kit with like, yeah, shaving oil, shaving cream, stuff like that. She gets me different colognes, socks. Oh, she got me some colorful underwear to wear for her, but unfortunately she picked out a brand that like literally stains your clothes if you wash it with anything else. It literally like ruined some of my clothing, but she's definitely got me nice loving things in the past. But like, not trying to like put her down, but like I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on her and her family. Like, man, if you even just add up the dinners and lunches, oh, man, we're talking thousands upon thousands of dollars. So many thousands. We're talking like 6 or 7 years worth of going out a lot, and 95% of the time I'm taking care of it. And then just like this, Karla's so abandoned, crying like she's the victim and wanting to give up. Like, she's literally the one that said that to me, and then now she's the crying victim. We should just give up. Instead of stepping up for what she did wrong, saying, you know what? Even though I felt like I was right to say those things or express my feelings, I understand that you've taken me on probably 100 lunch and dinner dates this year. I might be exaggerating, but it's a lot. You took me to the Sphere, Janet Jackson. You invested so much into me, Brock, and I love you so much for that. And I can understand how after you doing all these things, you were doing these things because you were trying to show me that you just wanted to be my loving partner, boyfriend, potentially even spend the rest of our lives together and get engaged again. And I love you so much for that. I just personally have a fear that in the back of my mind that it's all just gonna fall apart, and for some at any moment, because I believe all guys are cheaters, I know that might not be you, but that's just a belief I have, that at any moment you might spend Christmas with someone else or abandon me. It's my fear, but like, I still have the right to say that you might do that, because even if it's a 0.0000001% chance of happening, it might happen. Fair enough, Karla. At least acknowledge the effort that I'm putting in and how much I've done to love you. Because when she brushes it off like that, and then she talks about giving up, she's literally doing exactly what she's afraid of. She's trying to abandon me. Like, I'm fucking afraid of that. But I don't tell her that. Like, well, yeah, let's plan on going to this concert Friday, but you might decide to just dump me at any moment, or go bang another guy. You might even be banging a guy behind my back now. What universe would that be healthy to say to her? But she says those things to me every fucking week and acts like it's normal. And every therapist I've talked to says clearly that's not healthy. How long are you going to put up with this? One option is to just accept them for the way they are, is what Trust finally. And when I tried to call Trust to reschedule him when he moved practices, he just fucking wouldn't even answer because he knows how toxic this shit is. That's crazy. This is my dinner alarm. So there you go. I mean, I could talk forever. We can microanalyze this in every direction. When things are going great, Karla is the love of my life. When she decides to backhand comment or flat out accusing me of cheating when I'm not, it gets toxic as fuck because I don't know. I can try and do the old, well, do you want to know why I'm not cheating on you? Because I love this and this and this about you. But like, I've tried that in the past, and then she's like, no, nope, you just don't want to be honest with me. You're seeing someone and you just don't want to tell me. Like, I just calmly keep reassuring her. I don't know what else to do besides being a fucking human and saying, you know, Karla, that doesn't feel very, I'm not cheating on you, and that doesn't feel very good for you to say that to me, and I don't deserve that. Oh, well, then maybe we should just break up. Like, that's always her default. Well, if you can't handle me for the way I am, then we shouldn't be together. I could talk for hours about her different responses. She never takes account. Well, she actually did in the past take accountability. One time she was laying in my bed in my old apartment and she was like, I'm sorry if I ever question your faithfulness. And it was like a miracle from God. This was like 1% of our relationship. The other 99%, she was accusing me. At least during the times that she was accusing me. It wasn't literally every day, but it was pretty fucking constant. Like, we're talking like twice a week on average, potentially, at least once a week. She would make some comment about how I'm probably seeing other people. And it was just so toxic. Literally waited all week to see her. Or no, I would buy her dinner, spend all this money. We would get back to my place, and then she'd say, why don't you just tell me who else you're sleeping with? So fucking toxic. Like, I would instantly go limp. Like, wow. Trust me, when we were apart, I tried the whole other people route, and it was not good. I literally had someone that looked like Beyonce right here in my bed, and I couldn't even get it up. And then I never made plans. I never saw her in person ever again. And then she ended up getting a boyfriend. 25 years old or something like that. Could have been so many men's dream. And just, I wanted Karla back. I literally chose crazy Karla over Beyonce, a young Beyonce. And this is what I got for all that devotion. But who knows? At the end of the day, my heart, despite I'm not, at any moment World War III could break out, it doesn't even seem like it's safe to travel. It feels like if I wanted to travel and see the world, I better hurry up and do it, because either COVID's going to happen or fucking World War III is going to happen. Something's going to happen where they shut down travel. The airlines are fucked up right now. Government shut down. There's not enough air traffic controllers. Like, and like I'm wasting. I sometimes feel like I'm wasting my life on someone who doesn't even acknowledge how much I poured my life into them. And then when I just calmly say like my feelings were hurt, or maybe I said it in a frustrated way, but then I later, if I could play all my videos, I said it calmly. I'm like, those things hurt my feelings, Karla. Like, why would I go be with someone else? Why would I ditch you for poker buddies? Why would I visit my family and then not tell the most important person in my life that I'm going to Ohio for any hypothetical week? It just doesn't make any sense. That just didn't feel very good for you to say that to me. And all she had to say was, oh, you're such the victim, aren't you? Or, oh, I didn't do anything to hurt you. And like, wow, just fucking wow. It feels like everything I did was not enough to earn that respect, or for her to see that I am such a loving partner 99% of the time until she goes crazy or hurts my feelings. I could give a million examples just across my apartment of how much I love her. I literally have an entire 30-gallon tub of fucking lingerie, and it won't even fit all the lingerie. I literally spent thousands of dollars just getting her lingerie. She didn't have room to store it at her house, technically. She wanted me to keep it here, and then we broke up forever, and then I'm like, wow, I just... $2,000 out the window. And even since we've been back together, she's barely been wearing it. She theoretically could be pulling up right now. I heard a car pull up. She's more likely out with her mom. She hasn't even said she's going to come over tonight. But again, that would be her choice. It's her choosing not to be together tonight. And if I want to respond to her logically, because I finally listened to the messages, because I just knew there was a strong chance they were going to be toxic. Sure enough, I was right. I'm so happy I did not listen to those before my poker tournaments. They would have been, I wouldn't be able to get it off my brain. I ended up playing poorly anyways, but my bad. Hopefully I don't make the same mistakes next time. Yeah, why in the world didn't I go all in with pocket kings and then that flush draw? That makes no sense. She wants to call off fucking 100 big blinds with a weak ace. That's all on her. Let me put her to the test. But I didn't do that, so I literally put in 3 streets of chips and then folded to her all in. Oh, that was so bad. Oh, she could literally been bluffing me with anything. Well, we'll see what happens. One thing is to just, try to keep spacing out the fact that what she said, and she literally didn't apologize or anything. But I think a real gentleman in this situation would calmly... The sad thing is, okay, so hypothetically, if I were to calmly tell her, those things you said actually hurt my feelings, like, I'm literally... And I even shared Joel Osteen messages with her. It literally says, when someone is trying to be a better person, and for the last year, essentially, someone is trying to do good and right in their life, and then you want to bring up 2 years ago in the past of how they were doing wrong, you're literally trying to keep them down is that bad person. And you're trying to prevent them from doing good and being a righteous person. And I shared that with Karla. And no acknowledgement, no agreement. She just continued to put me down. Wow. Just wow. And yeah. So I guess if she comes over, I could just try and say, do you want to have a loving, do you want to treat each other with love? And if she says yes, great, okay, well, let's continue to do that. But Karla is so toxic, I don't think she's going to do that. She's going to come over and make it all about me being the bad guy and her the victim. She's not even going to acknowledge my feelings, most likely. Knowing her, she probably won't even come over tonight, but it's kind of 50-50. She's been hearting some of my posts, so. And because I didn't listen to her messages, there isn't any of me being the better person, even though she clearly didn't do it for me. I could acknowledge her feelings again and pray that she acknowledges mine back finally. But dude, 6 years, she rarely has done that in the past. I'll always be the one acknowledging her, and then she'll never do it for me. Literally narcissism. If it was anyone else, I don't even know if I would waste my time sending them a heartfelt message. If anything, I would make a YouTube video showing exactly what they did to me and little highlights and how I was responding in kindness and acknowledging her feelings and saying how much I loved her, and then her was just negative. Oh, you're such the victim, and oh, I didn't do anything to hurt you, and wow, Karla. And then I would, one life path would be to start there's an Instagram page called Narcissistic Abuse Coach or something like that, life coach. But this girl literally has become obsessed with being the narcissist person on Instagram. She'll sit there in her car and do skits acting like she's talking to a narcissist. And she has a boyfriend. Like, you think her boyfriend wants to live with someone who's literally obsessed with making skits about narcissists? Like, that would get so exhausting. I mean, we're talking like she sometimes puts out 4 videos a day. Like, wow. What, that's like some off switch you turn off and then you go back to a normal relationship with your boyfriend. So why wouldn't you want to focus on that instead of being the narcissist abuse coach on Instagram, where it literally becomes ingrained in your personality? You're constantly talking about it and doing skits pretending to be the narcissist. So I don't know. Yeah, is that really the life I want to have? No, but I might temporarily do it because Karla's driven me to insanity, and I have so many examples from her, and I have no shame in showing examples of how I might have had some traits at some points temporarily. But overall, all my therapists are like, Brock, you're definitely not a narcissist. So many friends and family have said that. I looked up the definition. I've literally admitted when I've done wrong. Narcissists usually don't do that. Or if they do, I guess they fake it. They do like fake apologies. I literally wholeheartedly apologize. And say what I could have done better and actually mean it. And want to work on myself. Karla, I'm not sure she's ever once wanted to work on herself in the form of relationships. I could be wrong, so I don't want to unfairly say that.
Are you napping too? I should have.
She never even answered me.
Hey, I was looking for that. Hey, I was looking for that.
I could make a Karla comment totally and be like, I don't even know if she's not with someone else. That would be crazy. Obviously, she's gonna be exhausted, and her kids are with her dad finally, and she's taking advantage of resting. But Karla in this situation would be 1,000 times in the past. She would have sent me a message. Oh, who's better, you in? Like, toxic as fuck. So yeah, but it's normal for you in the back of your mind to say, is she actually in her bed? But like to constantly do it every fucking time, man. You just would not believe how many times she would make comments to me like that over the years. It's never. I would send her a picture of me at lunch. Oh, who are you on a date with? Constant, like probably have 100 recordings of that saved over the years. It's that same comment. Why? How is that healthy to say to your partner? That is so toxic. So insecure. Oh, it's not fair for you to call me insecure. But it's okay for her to say that to me. Okay, alright. I'll upload this to YouTube as a private, unlisted video.